We are going to go to the telephones. We have got a great guest we are going to get to here in just a few moments. Go ahead and give me a brief introduction on yourself, my friend. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you. My name's Jonathan Hofer. I am a research associate at the Independent Institute in Oakland, California.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your latest project here, my friend.
Yeah, my latest project is studying the waste, fraud, abuse, and civil liberties concerns associated with automated license plate readers, not only in the state of California, but also nationally.
So, how did this get on your radar?
Yeah, the story is a little bit interesting. I've always kind of been interested in surveillance-related topics since Edward Snowden's notorious and famous leaks, but it really came to a headway when I was driving home with my brother from a Thanksgiving vacation one year, in which I had a police officer pull up in the car behind the car that I was traveling in. They get on their loudspeaker and tell us to exit the freeway. And at that point, we had no idea what was going on. We thought we were observing all traffic laws. We weren't speeding or anything. But they take us to kind of a vacant shopping lot, borderline pitch black. It's a cold November night. And we wait a few moments, and 6 or 7 more police officers show up in a few additional police cruisers. They all point their guns at us and tell us to get out. At one point, as they're asking me, hey, follow the sound of my voice, take a few steps backwards, few to your left, and so on and so forth, I randomly get tackled. I basically break kind of like I disfigure one of the joints of my fingers trying to catch myself on the ground. I get pretty banged up and bruised up on my knees, and then one of the officers puts a gun to the back of my head. And really at any moment, I'm just terrified that, at some point they're going to pull their triggers on us. Still at this point, they never tell us what's going on. We get placed in separate police cruisers, and about 45 minutes later, they tell us, hey, we're sorry. What had happened was a different police department put your license plate on a stolen car registry, and one of our cameras picked up that you guys were traveling in a stolen vehicle, which is why we pulled the stop.
Holy
and so
smokes.
Since then, my interest in this kind of subject has really grown.
So, was there, grounds for a lawsuit or anything for this? Because this is incredible.
Yeah, it's actually, I was able to initiate a lawsuit against the officers that actually stopped us, and they kind of did an illegal search. They opened up our trunk and bags and things and that. However, there was no case for a lawsuit against the actual department that failed to maintain accurate records. So we tried suing them, and the state of California said, no, you can't. They're actually immune, even though it was really their mistake that precipitated this traffic stop.
That is amazing. Holy smokes. I'm just blown away by this. So take us. What happened next with all this stuff?
Yeah. So the really unfortunate thing with my kind of circumstances, this could really happen to anyone on the road. My experience is definitely not a single occurrence. There are people that are frequently stopped on bad pretenses, either because of a failure to accurately maintain police records, or there's just sometimes a reading error caused by automated license plate cameras. And for those who don't know, automated license plate cameras are high-speed cameras that have the ability to read the characters on a license plate. And you would think that these would have a high degree of accuracy and have been well vetted, but one of the largest data aggregators and users of ALPRs, they self-report that their cameras misread 1 out of every 10 cars. Yet some of these cameras are being placed over busy interstates and have the ability to read up to 2,000 plates per minute. So just figure on a busy freeway, that could potentially be 200 cars that are incorrectly reported as stolen. And when you have police departments using these cameras as a part of their strategy to mitigate stolen vehicles or for wanted persons, it really throws both drivers and police officers into a very dangerous position when they initiate these kind of traffic stops.
We have got a great guest with us today. Is there a website or something we can direct people to?
Yeah, you could always find my work on independent.org. That's the main website of the Independent Institute. And you can find my work through there. I have studies on both kind of the civil liberties and legal concerns with license plate readers, as well as I've studied the general efficacy of these cameras, as proponents often suggest that these cameras are invaluable crime-fighting tools, but in reality, while the costs are very known, the benefits aren't. We don't really see a great statistical success rate with these cameras, and so that's one of the things I want to bring awareness to.
This is just absolutely amazing. So what's been some feedback that you've gotten on everything?
It's a little bit mixed, but I do have police officers who have endorsed my research, as well as other privacy activists. One of the big things is that a lot of people are very concerned that what the license plate readers do is they create a timestamp and a geographical log of where they spot your car. And when police are using that data and they store it for a long period of time, you can really detect travel patterns of people. You can create intimate portraits of people's lives. You can see where they work, maybe who they're sleeping with, their political ideologies. And I think that's something that the government doesn't really have a well-reasoned interest in for innocent people that aren't suspected of any wrongdoing.
Absolutely amazing. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. So this is just amazing. What are some of the next steps that you're involved with and trying to move all this forward?
Really, the next step is making sure that departments and state agencies that use these technologies have a number of safeguards in place before they go out and acquire this equipment, and especially before they test it on the public. The biggest thing they could do is really just have a requirement that says we're going to automatically delete data after a brief period of time. And if we don't have a reason to think that what we've captured is going to be a part of criminal evidence, or it's not a part of a missing person broadcast, that data is automatically deleted. I think that's the number one reform that everyone should be incorporating. And this has been adopted by several states and individual cities. New Hampshire, for example, has a 3-minute limit on data, and I think other states could do that as well. San Francisco has rules and regulations on, for example, if their equipment causes harm to a person, then that person has a private right of action that they could seek remedy in the form of a lawsuit against the city or its agencies.
Well, good luck to everything on this, my friend. I'm sorry that you had to have this situation happen to you to be able to get pushed into this direction. But this is amazing, man. You guys have really put together some cool stuff here.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
So, before we let you go, how do we get more information on the web and social media and everywhere else?
Yeah, independent.org, and I have a personal page there. You can search up my name, Jonathan Hofer. You can also look through our website. We have a special section called the California Golden Fleece Awards that we do semi-annually, and that is a series of papers that have to do with exposing government waste or increasing transparency and holding government accountable when they either break public trust or they swindle taxpayers, and that's what my recent paper on license plate readers was in.
Well, I'll tell you, you have really hit on something here, my friend. This is something that a lot of people need to be aware of. Jonathan Hofer is our guest with us today. He's a research associate at the Independent Institute. He's also the author of a new report, The Pitfalls of Law Enforcement License Plate Readers in California and Safeguards to Protect the Public. So, what are some of your goals with all this stuff?
They've kind of evolved. Initially, I was kind of skeptical that any license plate reader network would be satisfactory, but I've seen a few policy developments in various cities, both nationally and in California, that I'm actually a little bit optimistic that given enough safeguards, these can be used in a way that doesn't harm the public, it doesn't invade their privacy, but it also doesn't compromise law enforcement's ability to address crime. And I think, once we inform the public about what these cameras are doing, what kind of data they're collecting, how do we ensure that the data is safely kept and stored and automatically deleted, I think there's a good opportunity to find a good middle ground there. And it's something that might be able to help address Amber Alerts, maybe hit and runs, shooting suspects fleeing via car, things like that. So there's, I don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater, but I do want to sound the alarm that as they're currently used in the state of California and nationally, the risk definitely outweighs the concern, outweighs the benefits, and they really operate on spurious legal reasoning. Some of what these departments are doing might actually be illegal. So I just want to make sure that that's known to people.
Well, it is incredible. Thanks for making some time for us. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you for being with us, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a time out. I literally only have one hand because I have a kitten in the other hand. We are taking a break.